Okay, just a quick video here about the differences between Mora's Top Q line, their High Q line right here, and their Classic line. I actually emailed Ragweed from Ragweed Forge and asked him about this because Mora's been marketing a lot of new new lines lately of blades, and some of them get pretty pricey. In fact, some of them reach the $35, almost $40 price point. And by the time you pay to get it shipped, I mean, some of these Mora knives are actually competing with some of the knives you can get at local stores like Buck, for example, and some other. Gerber makes some good ones as well in that price range. So you have some of Mora's new lines competing with higher end blades, and one of the things that always drew me to Mora was their inexpensive cost. Now, it's worth it. It's worth it. Don't get me wrong. They're good knives. However, when you hit that $40 mark, the whole world opens up. But there's a difference between the Top Q and the High Q. Now, these here are not the more pricey Bushcraft series knives. There's some in the new Bushcraft series that cost, I think they call it the Signal. It has the 2010 blade, and they cost quite a bit more. But I think this is a $15 blade right here. This is our Top Q knife. You can see, I think it's 0.098 inches thick. So it's not even 1/10 of an inch thick yet. They didn't break that barrier yet. But it does have a finished spine on the back, slightly thicker stock. It's got the same handle as the Clipper, and you can see the High Q right here actually has the same handle as the Top Q. The only difference is the wrap. Incidentally, the sheaths are interchangeable as well. The only difference between these knives is this one's fit and finish is a little better, and you can see on the High Q here that the blade isn't finished on the spine, which is a very typical old school Mora trait. It doesn't bother me, but I guess you pay an extra $1 or $2 for a finished spine on the back. So here's the Top Q, here's the High Q, and then you have your Classic. This was a 500, that's a 546. It's the same thing as a 511, except it's in stainless steel. I actually pulled this one out of my truck. I was using it to cut open bags of cement today. Just sharpened it up. Mora's not going to stop offering these. There's a lot of guys that come to know them, come to depend on them, and come to prefer them. These are still going to stay at the lower price point, have the same handles and sheaths they did for many years, many decades. But there's a little bit of a difference between how Mora markets its new lines. I guess when KJ Erickson and Frost's merged, they came up with different marketing ideas and different strategies. I think, frankly, that they're actually asking a little much for their new offerings. I said it earlier in this video. I said they're worth it, but $35 for a Mora knife is pushing the envelope, especially when you can get the same blade on a different handle for mid 20s. And frankly, I mean, in the new Bushcraft series, the Triflex, I mean, you can get a 911 for like 14 or 15 bucks, which is what, 25 or 30% less than what they're asking for the new line. The only difference is the Triflex steel, and the sheath has a bigger belt loop, I believe, and that's it. So you can get essentially the same knife for a lot less money. But it is green, so if you like green, go nuts. Incidentally, I do have it, and it's a nice knife. But yeah. So this is their Top Q line. This is their High Q line. This is the cream of the crop. This will be the runner-up, and this is their Classic. All priced accordingly. So if you have any questions about it, go ahead and post them below the video, and I'll do my best to get back to you if I know the answer. Thanks for watching. I'll try and keep them coming.